Every single second, the Earth is bombarded by 174 petawatts of solar energy. To put that in perspective, this visualization compares those 174 trillion watts against the energy consumed by every human being on the planet combined. The sun's output entirely dwarfs us. If you leave a rock sitting out in the summer sun, it gets steadily hotter. So after billions of years of this constant, overwhelming bombardment, why hasn't our planet been reduced to a sterile, baking wasteland? It is tempting to look at the lushness of our world and assume Earth acts like a massive planetary battery, permanently storing the sunlight it receives. But it doesn't. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be destroyed. If 174 trillion watts are arriving every second and they aren't piling up to cook the planet, that energy has to be going somewhere else. Earth is entirely a dynamic transit system. We do not keep the sun's energy, we only borrow it. The moment that sunlight hits the atmosphere, the rejection process begins. About 30% of the incoming energy bounces right back into space, reflecting off bright surfaces like clouds, snow, and ice, before it can ever enter our planetary energy budget. This flowchart isolates what happens to the rest. Once the 30% is reflected away, the remaining 70% penetrates the atmosphere and is absorbed by the air, land, and oceans, where it starts doing physical work. First, that absorbed heat drives the mechanics of the planet itself. It creates temperature differences that whip up atmospheric winds, power weather systems, and push massive ocean currents. Biological systems capture it too. Plants absorb this light through photosynthesis, pushing it through the food chain, where a fraction of it gets buried deep underground and compressed over millions of years into coal and oil. We eventually learned how to skip that biological middleman. We can now catch that incoming light and convert it straight into usable electrical power. We feed that electricity into complex tools, driving everything from basic mechanical motors to central processing units and massive server arrays. But whether it manifests as a Category 5 hurricane, a lump of anthracite coal, or a spreadsheet rendering on a monitor, it is exactly the same thing: solar energy wearing a temporary disguise. Eventually, the disguise wears off. The second law of thermodynamics dictates that all this physical and digital work degrades the energy down into raw, unusable heat. In physics, anything warmer than absolute zero has to emit thermal radiation, and our planet is no exception. This visualization of Earth in the infrared spectrum shows what that looks like. Because our global average temperature hovers around 15 degrees Celsius, the planet constantly emits its degraded heat as invisible infrared radiation. Notice the exchange happening here. High-energy visible sunlight arrives on the dayside, does its work, degrades, and leaves as low-energy infrared waves streaming out into the cold vacuum of space. The planet physically exhales. By sending this heat back into the void, Earth ensures it empties its energetic checkbook every single day. This scale illustrates the planetary equation. To maintain a habitable climate, incoming solar energy must perfectly equal outgoing infrared energy. This seamless exchange has operated for billions of years, keeping our global temperature stable for complex life to thrive. But the system has a vulnerability. The greenhouse gases we release are completely transparent to incoming sunlight. However, they are opaque to outgoing infrared radiation. They act as a physical barrier, restricting the heat's escape route and instantly tipping the scale. This creates a blocked escape valve. The gas molecules vibrate aggressively, absorbing the passing heat and trapping it permanently inside our atmosphere. The sun itself isn't shining any brighter. We are simply trapping a microscopic fraction of those 174 petawatts inside the transit system for a little too long. Earth is not a vault. To remain a living, breathing world, it must be allowed to completely exhale exactly what it inhales.